Hello there, welcome back to the Papal State and the Holy Trinity. Currently we have a issue, more or less. As you know, we actually got the island at a nice asylum back. The problem, of course, problem is the fact that the knights, as you might imagine, their primary culture is actually Maltese, which puts us in a very bad position because we can't actually release them due to the fact that we do not have the culture group required to release them. And I'm pretty sure that even if I call them, nationalism need to be gone. So there will be an issue here because the core runs out in a decade. So the only real bet that I'll have in this case is actually declare war on Castile, which is not something I can do because Castile is allied with France, Austria and Portugal. Let's just face that. That's not a war that I want to be involved with. I'd definitely get crushed. So the only thing I really can do here is try and core it, see if I can switch culture early, something like that, but nationalism do last until 1532, and thus the only real way to, well, change the culture is by getting a lucky event that I'm pretty sure do not exist. So there's not really too much for me to do here. The only thing that I really can do, I guess, is go for vassalizing the Teutons and vassalizing Livonia pretty rapidly. It should be possible, it really should. So I should probably focus on getting myself some some land, if you will, in the north. Again, Finland could potentially turn out to be a wonderful choice of this. The aggressive expansion I get from declaring war on Finland won't be too harsh. Of course, some people will not like it. Finland, for instance, Muscovy, Novgorod, Lithuania, Riga and Sweden, but let's face it, those are nations that I will not be interacting with too much. So I think it's actually fairly safer to take a bet. We're going to send this fleet with these 10,000 men to Finland in an effort to just secure ourselves the Livonian Order and Teutonic Order here more or less at once while we still can. And I'll have to consider what I'll do in terms of the diplomatic scene. As you know, here we do have alliances with... We actually... Considering that I do already have alliances with Livonian Order and Teutonus, which I did not actually consider, it should again not be too much of an issue to just declare war and take them out right now. And then we'll have to rely on either myself getting lucky with this one, with Rhodes, or basically either declaring war on on Castile in a lucky moment, and then force Maltese or force. Try and take the island myself and try and break them through. But basically, as long as the island itself is Maltese, I should be able to get the knights to potentially rebuild from there. But that's basically the biggest issue right now. I should probably have considered protecting the knights a little bit bigger, or a little bit stronger in this case, but I didn't, and I'm currently getting... well, being made to pay for that. Let's just be perfectly honest there. And the second problem here is, again, it's the same with the Livonian Order, for instance. If I mess that up, I am going to take a double stability hit here, and apparently it gave me a looming disaster. I should probably wait until I had a little bit higher stability. My apologies. But it should be fine. We'll just have to deal with this. And it might actually be a little bit too far for me to core too. That could be the funnier part here, that I can't actually core it because it's too far away. But we'll just have to see it. I just need a province for the time being that's a little bit closer than myself, so that I can actually get the peace deals or the vassalizations and everything gone through, and then I can just focus on fighting Poland, more or less everyone after that. We have a new Pope, 524, Gregorius. The 14th should be pretty good that too. But anyways, what I'll do now is of course fight the war against Finland, provided of course that we can actually get there before we end up dead, which is maybe a little bit risky at best, but we'll figure that out. We'll probably also end up fighting a lot more wars in the area, just for, well, the purpose of course of getting our nations back, or the nations that we will vassalize to full strength again, which will of course be interesting. Now, what I did not actually consider is that my fleet will most likely die from this trip alone, so I will probably have to ask for fleet basing rights, which will cost me a little bit of money, but it will at least save me my fleet. And potentially here now I should probably also ask for military access and then just march ashore or march the land route rather than getting getting penalized for, well, sending my my fleet overseas. So we made a general, got a 502, which is a little bit interesting, but it works. It did actually win the battle too, which is wonderful. So yeah, I'll just go ahead here. We're going to aim at boosting our stability back up rather rapidly here. Unfortunately, I also lost the papacy, which is rather bad, because it means that, for instance, my stability is more expensive. And also the aggressive expansion I will get from actually annexing Finland will be a little bit higher, which could be a concern. But we'll have to see here. We also do have some Greek patriots inroads that could potentially turn into problems. And I don't really want to... Let's face it, the problem here with any potential rebels is that they will go for releasing Crete, so we might as well just increase the autonomy and see how things plan out here. But again, things are not looking too good. We'll just have to wait and see if I can somehow get the Knights back, but the Teutons and the Livonian Order shouldn't be any concern at all. So we'll just have to see how things pan out. There we go, the siege of the Finnish province is it is done with, and we're going for full annexation here, which will give actually rather a little more exhaustion, all things considered, so that's good. And as I expected, I can't really call this thing myself, so the goal here will be now to just try and get ourselves into a position where we have the relations needed to actually vassalize these guys. And it shouldn't actually be that hard. We can improve relation, we can, well, send gifts, try and do whatever we can here to just basically improve the relations to a point where I can vassalize them, and then we'll probably sell Finland to the Livonian Order, since actually it's one of their cores. So if you consider that, things should not be too bad. I'll also get Casus Belli in the area, thanks to the fact that they will be my vassals. So if you consider that too, that's a good thing. Unfortunately, this stability point will cost a little bit more, since I did not actually remember the fact that, well, I had to solve that. So for the time being, I'll just try and improve relations, and we'll go ahead and vassalize both of these, hopefully. So we'll see if my plan works or not. There we go. As you can see, the Lithuanian Order do have 190 now as relation, and with that we can actually, or could in theory, at least early here, offer the vassalization. But if for some reason now I can't, it seems like I've actually lost some relation. Apparently also with the Teutons here, the distance between borders have apparently grown a little bit too far, probably due to the fact that this province is sieged. So I have no idea here if actually probably a diplomatic guy died. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a diplomatic reputation guy died. Let's see now if they're back to wanting to join. Well, they are close, but not close enough, which is of course not, well, a little bit too bad. Scotland tells of the Peasants' War. Pope Austria declared war on Poland. Which makes things a little bit interesting here, because that means that I could potentially use this as a opportunity to regrow the Teutons, provided that they actually manage to re-siege this province. So let's see if I can actually get myself into a position where we can make something work here. Livonia still do not want to join here, which is too bad, but it's not really too much I can do about that at the current moment. I will, however, drop my troops off in the Teutonic Order. And in this case, Poland, Lithuania, Magdeburg, Pomerania, are you guys at war as well? You're not at war, so I can basically use the Teutons here as a landing pod, so we'll accept. And I'll rely on Austria to fight this war for me, which is more or less what I will have to do, I think, in order to make this work. So we'll drop our troops off in Memel, and I probably can't vassalize these guys during war. Still, we have the distance between borders issue, apparently. So I probably need to actually be capable of coring this thing, which makes basically what I've been doing now for the last couple of the, well, for the last little while here, pretty much useless then. And positive. I thought I could declare war on Brandenburg, apparently not. But again, here the positives is that I then probably can just take my army and boats home, and we can just leave things as they are in the area, I think. We're going to cancel fleet basing rights in Livonia. We're going to hire ourselves a new commander. And we're going to fire my reputation guy and get a level 1 guy, because that's all we can afford. We still have the problem with the rebels here, but it's going backwards. We do have these guys as well, but that's also going backwards. And we'll also just take the diplomatic tech 9 here, which allows me to build carracks and caravels, as well as get an increase in colonial range, naval morale by 0.2, maintenance by 20%. And apparently I can also convert something, but it will take forever, so we'll not be doing that. I basically here, the Holy Trinity is just an annoying achievement, because 2 of the nations that you have to protect, basically the knights can't even be force released unless you convert this, which is basically a big problem, because the Ottomans, funny fact, at Trebizond, I don't even see why Trebizond would bother with the knights, but they did. And that's basically probably what will ruin this achievement for me, but I think I'll continue. I'll take the island here, I'll see if I can revive them over here, and of course I'll keep the defensive to some degree relationship with the Livonian Order and the Teutons, and basically I'll conquer them if I have to, if I can't peacefully vassalize them in the future. I'm a little bit unsure what I want to do with this. I want to release Finland, if I want to hand it over to Livonia, but since basically I can't vassalize these guys no matter how hard I try at the current time. I have no idea if there's a blockade anywhere here that would actually slow me down, but I'll probably hand Finland over to Livonia after the war, so we'll just have to see. Before the time being, I'll just be... I think I'll just be focusing on growing my own power in Europe, and also of course trying to get myself to Jerusalem. So I think that will be... I think that's the best plan right now, and of course we can always create a kingdom of God just for funsies, more or less, so we'll probably do that. But yeah, I don't like this achievement too much, but it's an interesting one, and it'll be fun to see how it actually works out in the long run. Also, of course, late game you can actually annex rather large nations, so that will of course also be an interesting well, fact later on. Also, or lastly, I think I'll increase the autonomy in England. No reason to create any issues up there. But yeah, I'll just have to here see if I can get myself into war with Castile. I could right now, but France would join on their side. Austria would not join me at all. So it would be hilariously stupid of me to declare war over Malta when I basically can't. The only thing I can really hope for is that Castile gets Aragon. There's still about 30 or 40 years until they can actually forcefully inherit them. But that's my best bet right now, that they do that. The knights somehow reappear. I keep an eye out for the Teutons, the tiny Teutons that are left, also Livonian Order, and then we just work from there. There's not really any more magic than that. I'll just have to wait and bide my time, and basically, well, work things the best way I can. But yeah, right now I'm kind of lost for what I want to and what I should do. So I guess our best bet is actually keep hitting on the Ottomans here, try and take these 4 provinces, and the next was that I can actually force Constantinople to go back to Byzantium, just because of its pure base tax and everything like that. And of course I might go for vassalizing Bulgaria or something like that, conquering them, but basically the area here will probably be my area. Of course I will not be able to connect the lands unless I do wage a war against Austria, which is a possibility in the future, but right now I don't see that as too likely. I'll probably do, again here, I was actually planning on doing another session, but with the news that I figured out with roads, with the plan up here failing, I think I have to rethink my strategy. But to be perfectly honest with you, if I manage to vassalize the Teutons and Livonian Order and also get Jerusalem, even if I can't release the knights, it's just too much of a chance momentum that I have very little control over. Of course I could just go on day 1 declaring on the knights, and if I do this achievement again I probably will, just to protect them or guarantee them or something along those lines, which I probably should have done. But I was basically considering that I need to defend myself, I need to grow in power in order to actually take and protect these states. And the culture aspect, especially with the Knights and Livonian Order, is just a little bit too much of a gamble for me to, well, like it too much. But there you have it. I did a very bad job of it, but we'll see. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave any comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you next time. Bye.